Let's go Bills! I don't know about you, but I'm counting down the days until the season kicks off. There are still a few months to go, but my red and blue heart is already beating with excitement. Our team is looking sharp and ready to soar high once again. Today, I want to dive into some hot topics that have been making waves behind the scenes with the Bills, and trust me, there's a lot coming our way. Before we get into the details, make sure to hit that like button if you live and breathe Buffalo Bills like I do. It's always inspiring to see the strength of our fan base, from longtime supporters to the newest members of Bills Mafia. Maximum respect to all of you. If you can, drop a comment. Go Bills! Let's come back even stronger. Alright, let's get into this news. Could one of the greatest defensive players of this generation actually be on the move? And not just anywhere, but possibly suiting up in red, white, and blue at Highmark Stadium? Buffalo, we're not just talking rumors anymore. This is real, it's heating up. And if the Buffalo Bills want to finally break through that Kansas City ceiling and stake their claim atop the AFC, this might be the blockbuster move that tips the scales. Yes, you heard it right. TJ Watt, the All-Pro edge rusher, 2021 NFL Defensive Player of the Year, future Hall of Famer, is potentially up for grabs. And the Bills are in the conversation. Let's dive into exactly what's going on here, because it's not every day that a generational pass rusher becomes available. What has been the heart and soul of the Pittsburgh Steelers defense for years, and yet, somehow, he finds himself increasingly distant from the organization. This all began when Watt failed to report to mandatory minicamp, sending shockwaves through Steelers Nation and opening the door for rival front offices to pounce. Reports, including one from ESPN's Adam Schefter, confirm that multiple teams have been actively discussing trade scenarios involving TJ Watt in recent weeks. While the Steelers haven't officially placed Watt on the trade block, sources are clear, interest is building, Watt is unhappy with his contract situation, and teams smell blood in the water. What's more, Watt's frustration stems from a flurry of aggressive moves by Pittsburgh this offseason, including acquiring DK Metcalf, Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Rodgers, and Jonnu Smith, all while leaving their star defender feeling like an afterthought. And that's not sitting well with a man who has sacrificed his body for the franchise, delivered elite production every season, and carried himself as the consummate professional. Hey, look, he seems to be saying, I've done everything you've asked, and this is how you treat me? You can't help but feel for him. And if you're the Buffalo Bills front office, this is your signal. Act now. Bills Mafia, this could be massive. Imagine pairing TJ Watt with Von Miller, Greg Rousseau, or even Leonard Floyd if he returns. The pass rush would be terrifying. Watt is not just good, he's historic. In 2021, he tied the NFL single-season sack record with 22.5. He's a 7-time Pro Bowler, a 4-time first-team All-Pro, and yes, he made the All-Pro team as recently as last year, 2023. This past season, while some say his numbers dipped, they were still elite. 11.5 sacks, 27 QB hits, 6 forced fumbles, 19 tackles for loss, and 61 total tackles. Go back one more season, 19 sacks, 36 QB hits, and 68 tackles. And in that iconic 2021 campaign, 22.5 sacks, 39 QB hits, 5 forced fumbles, 21 TFLs, 64 total tackles. He is relentless. He is reliable. He is 30 years old. Yes, but there is zero evidence he's slowing down. If anything, he's aging like fine wine. Now, what would it take to get him to Buffalo? Well, buckle up, because it's not going to be cheap. The most optimistic trade scenario right now involves sending a first-round and a third-round pick to Pittsburgh. That's a steep price. You're talking about 2 premium picks. But here's the catch. That's just the beginning. After the trade, any team landing Watt would also need to ink him to a new deal. And that deal? It's massive. Sources project Watt will demand a 4-year, $160 million contract with $130 million guaranteed. That would make him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. Why? Because Watt saw what Myles Garrett just got paid. He knows what Micah Parsons is about to get, and he believes, rightly so, that he deserves to be in that conversation. So, let's be honest, this is not just about cap space. If the Bills go all in on Watt, they'd have to make some tough roster decisions to shed salary and make the numbers work. That could mean letting go of veterans, restructuring deals, or delaying extensions for young talent. This isn't a casual move. It's a full-blown shift in team-building philosophy. But with the Bills' window wide open and Josh Allen in his prime, it might be exactly what this franchise needs. Now, let's talk options. If Watt becomes unattainable either due to cost or Pittsburgh's reluctance to help an AFC rival, there is a plan B. Trey Hendrickson from the Cincinnati Bengals. Hendrickson is no slouch. He's cheaper both in draft capital and contract terms. You might be able to land him for a second and fifth rounder, and while his next deal would still be hefty, it wouldn't touch TJ Watt's projected price tag. But here's the twist. The Steelers and Bengals? These are teams with their own playoff aspirations. Would they really help out a direct rival like Buffalo? That's a legitimate concern. Trading inside the AFC, especially to a team viewed as a Super Bowl contender, is a tough sell in NFL circles. It's not just about the money or the picks. It's about pride. It's about competitive edge. And let's not sugarcoat it. The Buffalo Bills, as things stand, are not on the same tier as the Kansas City Chiefs. That's not an insult. That's just reality. The Chiefs have a deeper roster, a legendary head coach, and recent postseason wins over the Bills to back it all up. Andy Reid has had Sean McDermott's number when it's mattered most. So if you're Brandon Beane, and you truly believe this is the year, you can't sit on your hands. You have to make a move, a splash, a statement, because the defense was the weak link in 2023. That's not opinion, that's fact. Whether it's Watt, Hendrickson, or someone else entirely, Buffalo needs more firepower on that side of the ball. Another elite weapon for Josh Allen would be nice, but defense is where you make your mark in January. Defense is what derailed the Bills last year, and it's where this team needs to level up. So now the question goes to you, Bills Mafia. Is TJ Watt worth it? Is it worth the first and third round picks? Is it worth the $160 million contract? Is it worth the roster reshuffling? Do you make this move now to win in 2025? Or do you stay conservative and trust the current core to get it done? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Type T for trade, P for pass. Let us know what you think, because this conversation isn't just about what. It's about how badly the Buffalo Bills want to win a Super Bowl, and how far they're willing to go to get there. And here's the wild part. Even if the Bills wanted to pull the trigger right now, there are serious obstacles in the way that could make or break the entire plan. Let's start with the money. TJ Watt's projected contract at 4 years and $160 million with $130 million guaranteed isn't just massive, it's historic. That kind of money isn't just about cap space. It's about redefining your entire payroll philosophy. It's about deciding that defense, and this defender in particular, is worth the price of two elite players at other positions. And that brings us to the big picture. This move, as aggressive and exciting as it sounds, would put the Bills on a completely different trajectory. Because if you do it, you're not just buying talent. You're buying urgency. You're telling the locker room, the fans, the entire league, we're done waiting. We're going for it now. The timeline matters. Von Miller won't be elite forever. Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer are aging. Josh Allen is in his prime. And no matter how special he is, those prime years don't last forever. There's no more room for next year. You either chase greatness now, or you watch others do it while you sit on potential. Now let's circle back to Pittsburgh. What motivation would they have to actually move TJ Watt? Well, here's where things get interesting. They've already been one of the most aggressive teams this offseason, trading for DK Metcalf, Jalen Ramsey, and Jonnu Smith, and even bringing in Aaron Rodgers. And yet, none of those moves involved re-signing or restructuring a deal for their best defensive player. That tells us two things. First, their priorities are shifting.